What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, we made it. Black Ops 1, Kino Der Toten, the best zombies map of all time? Most iconic zombies map of all time? I don't know, guys. We're continuing our Tim Hansen series. We're going to watch his Kino Der Toten episode, guys. Let's just hop right into this thing.
Boys and girls, I need just one moment of your time. Please empty your brain. I should be the only thing you're focusing on right now. My voice and my voice alone. Now, I'm going to mention one phrase, and after I'm done mentioning that phrase, I want you to blurt out loud the first thing that pops into your mind.
Okay, guys, you ready?
Okay. Ready, set, Call of Duty Zombies.
Call of Duty Zombies. Doris, that's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know.
Was it Kino Der Toten? Statistically, since there are dozens of zombies maps, the percentage of you that picked Kino Der Toten is actually
Good old
fairly
Kino.
low, but I'm willing to bet
Who
that
here
it is
picked
the
Kino?
highest
Who's here? Pick Kino. Whose first map was Kino Der Toten?
percentage. A lot of you were thinking of Nocturne Toten, Origins, Transit, Doris. Everyone thought of something different because some of us are
I'm
older,
an
some
OG.
of us
Mine
are
was
newer.
not,
And I could be
for
wrong,
sure,
but I tried
man.
this test with multiple people,
Doris
and
was the
Kino Der
first thing
Toten
to
was
come to
always
mind.
the answer. It seems to be highly linked with Call of Duty Zombies, without mentioning a specific zombies game, which leads me to believe that Kino Der Toten is the single most iconic zombies map ever. And I realize I subconsciously planted Kino in your brain with it being in the title, but I told you to empty your mind, goddammit. I think
He did tell us to empty our mind. Now, Kino Der Toten arguably is the most iconic zombies map of all time. It's unarguably the most iconic zombies map of all time, simply because it took the formula that Doris perfected, carried it over into a new game, bringing in a whole new audience.
It's important to distinguish the term nostalgic from iconic because those are two separate things.
Fair
Nostalgia
enough.
is totally subjective. I might have memories on maps
Nostalgia
that you don't.
is
And though the majority
subjective.
of us agree that Kino is nostalgic, I
was gonna say, but we can all agree that Kino Der Toten is
we're all different.
nostalgic.
But I think we can all agree that Kino is at least a top 3 iconic map ever, and in my opinion, number 1. There is some competition.
Yes.
I mentioned those maps earlier.
Probably
but when
the
thinking
most
of Call of
iconic
Duty
zombies
Zombies,
map
when
of all
thinking of
time.
Nazi zombies, Kino Der Toten always pops up. And why? Why is that? We are going to take a look at that. Welcome to the analysis
Figure it
of
out.
Kino Der Toten, the most iconic zombies map ever. If you want to catch the next episode, I suggest you subscribe. This is a series where I analyze Treyarch zombies maps. In the last
Subscribe to
episode, we
Tim.
did Doris, and the next one we're going to do 5, and there is a playlist for all of them in case you want to binge them. We start with
we're
quite
gonna
literally
binge them.
Black Ops Zombies.
We are going
Right
to binge
after-
these episodes. We're going to be releasing them at least once per week. I've been kind of doing maybe 2, maybe 3 times a week because I've just been on a kick lately. Guys, leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you want to stay on top of it for the future episodes.
The revolution of
Go check
Doris,
out Tim's
the World
channel,
at
of
War.
course.
Now, interestingly enough, Kino Der Toten was designed to be a World at War map, but they decided to launch it with Black Ops 1, which is why it shares a similar vibe and a similar atmosphere as
Yes.
all the
Oh,
other
I remember
World at War
that.
maps.
Kino
So
Der
Zombies
Toten was
pop-
actually supposed to be a World at War map, like he just said. I think that whenever you load into it, it's obvious. Like, you can kind of feel that in the atmosphere. It feels like a World at War map, but you know what? It worked for Black Ops 1. I
Popular
think
with
it worked
Nocturne
just fine
Toten,
for Black
Verrückt, and
Ops.
Shino Numa, the game hadn't become mainstream yet. Doris, of course, took a giant step towards being mainstream. People started playing the map a lot. Zombies was rapidly becoming more and more popular, especially with Doris. Then came along, at the time, the best
And we talked about that in our last video about how, like, with the addition of Pack-a-Punch and the Wonder Weapons and some of the other new features that came along with Doris, I feel like that brought in returning players from the previous 2 DLC cycles, and then also new players who wanted to try out this new Pack-a-Punch feature or whatever
Xbox
else.
360
But
game and the best-selling Call of Duty title ever, Black Ops. Modern
Kino Der
Warfare 3
Toten
would
was what
eventually
set this
surpass
game
it
mode
in
on
sales.
fire.
Modern Warfare 3 doesn't have zombies in it. The
In a good
best-selling
way.
zombies game ever is Black Ops. Everyone
It
and their
exploded,
grandmother
man.
is playing Black Ops and the new Black Ops
Everybody
Zombies.
was playing
Now, which
Black
maps
Ops
are
1
players
zombies.
presented
Everybody
with when
was
they
on
played this
Kino
game
Der
for the first
Toten.
time? Good old Kino Der Toten. You would unlock 5 upon completing the campaign and unlock Dead Ops Arcade as a side mode by typing in DOA in the computer in the main lobby, but those maps wouldn't
who completed the campaign specifically so they could play
be
5?
presented to you immediately.
Black
Kino
Ops
Der
1
Toten
campaign was
there
just
from the first
standalone
day. And
great.
as with every zombies title, the
I
launch
don't
map
even know
tends
if
to be the most
I
popular.
knew that.
Simply because
I don't even know if I knew that 5 was unlocked after you beat the campaign. I'm not sure. I think that I just played the campaign naturally It just came to me, and then like 5 was there. I don't know. I guess
Not
I didn't know
everybody
that.
is playing the
That's new to me.
DLCs. Not everybody can afford them. In 2010, with the release of this game, there is a giant surge. Call of Duty is exponentially growing, and players are hopping in for the first time, which obviously means people are playing zombies more than they ever have.
Yes,
and I can attest to this
dude.
because Black Ops
Game
1 was
mode
my first Call of Duty,
exploded.
and Kino Der Toten was my first map as well. I was one of the many...
Again, leave a like if Kino Der Toten was your first map ever. Leave it down in the comments. Tell me about that. My first map ever was Kino Der Toten, but I remember the first time I played Kino Der Toten. I actually remember the first time I played.
people that hopped onto this game for the first time. Kino Der Toten was the most popular zombies map and the most popular zombies game. It was the only map you didn't have to purchase or achieve.
And
it was your go-to zombies experience
Kino Der
back in
Toten
2010. Now that's all fine and dandy. Kino Der Toten is likely the most played map ever, but that doesn't necessarily make it the most iconic. There's got to be something that made it stick, something that made us return to the map over and over again. Because if Kino was a shitty map, nobody would play it. If everyone hated it, they would have all played 5, and that perhaps could have been the most iconic map instead. So what about Kino kept us coming back?
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that if Kino sucked and 5 was like the breadwinner there?
For more. What about the Theater of the Dead was so appealing?
5 is
I don't think it was one specific element. I think it was a culmination.
Underappreciated
foremost,
right
it was
now.
a simple map.
I'd say
not everything.
It's
was
hard.
An Easter
It's a hard map. 5 is a hard map.
Take everything for what
we'll talk about
you
that
were never
one next.
confused. You were never lost, and you never really needed to look up a tutorial for anything. Your objective was clear: turn on the power and get to Pack-a-Punch. Nothing was unfamiliar. We had done all of this on previous maps. And for those who didn't play those maps, it was easy to learn how to do it.
Yeah, and that's
the
what
teleporter was as simple as
that's what we were just talking about. How it like took the formula that was perfected
and boring and not fun,
and
because there is a
carried it over into a new map for us to casually play.
But the majority of the community is casual, especially back then. Kino Der Toten, along with all of the World at War maps and Black Ops 1 maps,
80% of our community is casual. The other 20% is the people who like the Easter eggs and the lore, the more hardcore players. So most of y'all are casual players, and I feel like that's really why Kino, I would almost kind of categorize myself as casual as well. I do like Easter eggs, but I'm pretty casual. But Kino was a perfect map for all of us casuals. It really was.
To the majority, the casuals.
Yes.
Of course, zombies has to progress over time. It was inevitable that Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 zombies were going to be advanced and much more complicated. It's only natural for the game to become more
and we love you, Treyarch, for that.
But along with that, you're going to lose a lot of casual people. Kino Der Toten had enough substance to not feel like a bare bones Nocturne and Toten, where there was genuinely nothing to do. But it still appealed heavily to the casual player, and once again, the casual player was king. Now, another reason why this map is so iconic is because the most iconic strategy in zombies was popularized here. Running around an area and
appreciate the 115 song going on in the background.
It was the quickest and most efficient way to get through the rounds. The strategy of training zombies was introduced on Shino Numa and was still a thing in Darice, but Kino Der Toten is where it exploded.
The training on Kino, dude, stage training is where it's at. I know all of you guys train on the stage. All you crazy motherfuckers who are training in the alleyway. If you're an alleyway trainer, leave a comment down below. Tell me about that. Why are you the way you are?
You had plenty of space to roam around and hoard up the zombies. You had the teleporter just beside you for a quick means of escape, and the new turret trap was also available in the center of the stage. Other good training areas included the lobby and the alley. And of course, along with the strategy came the new Thunder Gun. In contrast to modern Wonder Weapon, the Thunder Gun isn't statistically overwhelming. The ammunition is lackluster. You technically couldn't get max ammo with it in the 1 version. But aside from those technicalities,
and then the reload lock where like you fire one shot but you can't reload it because you gotta fire the other shot. I mean, fair enough. What are you gonna need 2 T-gun shots for? And I don't know, but still
when using
annoying
the Thunder Gun in real time,
when you're a religious reloader like myself.
The ultimate save me Wonder Weapon. If you were ever trapped in any scenario, all you had to do was click your trigger and you were good. You would shoot the zombies to a different fucking galaxy. And at the time when all we had previously seen was an unreliable ray gun and a good but not extraordinary Wonder Wall, the Thunder Gun really shined. It was simply remarkable. When you got this gun out of the box, you damn near creamed your jeans. You honestly felt like a god holding this thing, and when upgraded, it was actually called the Zeus Cannon. The Thunder Gun was the first truly magnificent Wonder Weapon, the first gun that placed you above the zombies, and it would quickly become an icon along with Kino Der Toten. Because you had so much space to work with and such a good wonder weapon, this was the first map you'd
Oh,
see people
man.
consistently getting to high rounds. Sure, people were getting to high rounds on broken ass Shino Numa and World at War. This was the first non-glitchy map that people were genuinely getting high up there. Kino Der Toten brought back many features like the 4 original perks, the Hellhounds, the Electric Trap, but it also innovated quite a bit, along with the Thunder Gun and
see that
the
image
turret.
again. What
Also,
was that image?
because you had so much space to work with and such broken ass Shino Numa.
Dude, look at how like pixelated this is.
And World at War. This was the first
shit.
non-glitchy map that people were genuinely getting
round
high up there.
2,991. Did you guys
like
see
the
that?
4 original perks, the Hellhounds.
That
the
would take
Electric
some
Trap, but it
time.
also
Wasn't the world
innovated
record
quite
like
a bit.
10,000
Along
or
with the
something
Thunder
like
Gun
that?
and the
Something
turret,
crazy.
Also had the Fire Trap and the new Nova Gas.
Ooh, the
crawler,
Fire
which-
Trap, dude. That's honestly something I always forget about. Is the Fire Trap on Kino. I love when new traps are added. It's not like a new concept or anything, but like, we hadn't seen a fire trap yet. I love new traps.
And in the
the
Black Ops 3
electric
remaster,
was
a Wonder
cool,
Vision machine would be placed in the back of the stage. You could
give me some different
Deadshot
traps.
Daiquiri and Stamina through it. Obviously, Gobblegum and Double Pack-a-Punch
Fire
would be
trap,
added
yeah.
as well. And of course, the graphics and the engine was much smoother and better. I think another reason why this map is so iconic is the general aura of the map, the general atmosphere. It isn't straight up terrifying like Verrückt. It's creepy. It's bone-chilling in a very subtle way. When
You
glancing
still
around
load
the map,
into a game of Kino by yourself, and it's still kind of like, well, maybe not so much anymore, just because of like the repetition of how many times you've actually played Kino. But maybe back in the day, loading into Kino by yourself was like,
you can almost envision the
still
people
kind of a little bit
walking around.
creepy.
The moviegoers grabbing a drink in the lobby, walking up the grand
Yes,
staircase,
dude.
grabbing a seat, maybe walking outside to the alleyway to smoke. You could also see what it may have been like for the performers with the dressing room. The cinema was once full of life, people walking around enjoying themselves, and now it's filled with the living dead. Rubble covering the floor, blood smeared all over the walls. A dark, depressing theater filled with zombies. Again, no jump scares, no hanging corpses, just a very subtle and a very terrifying vibe. And though there was no main Easter egg, there were many minor side Easter eggs. In the dressing room by the barrier in the back, you would hear a
still
knocking,
#1
as if
for
somebody was trying to
atmosphere.
get out of the drawer.
But
All over the
Kino
map, you can see tubes, which is filled with what looks like Element 115 patients.
I'd almost argue with anybody who says that the Black Ops 3 version, with all like the vibrancy added to it with the colors, kind of takes away from it. I'd kind of argue with them, say that maybe so, but I think that it kind of adds to the map a little bit, because Kino is a little gray.
Radios. It makes the player feel very uncomfortable, and I think people genuinely
things in life are not gray.
I think we can all appreciate a creepy map
that
that puts us out of our comfort
There's color.
zone. There's something innately
Still
within
can be kind of
humans
creepy.
that makes us enjoy that kind of stuff. That's why we like watching horror movies. Kino Der Toten encapsulates this vibe that makes you want to return for more and more. It possesses an atmosphere that personally I don't think any other zombies map has achieved. I believe this is another reason why it's so iconic. This, of course, paired with the Nazi propaganda, the swastikas all over the map, and the Nazi zombies. And I don't usually talk about the songs on the maps. I usually just let them play.
But let's talk about the song on the map. Yes, let's talk about it.
The song of this map in particular, 115 by Alina Sigmund and Kevin Sherwood, has got to be the most iconic song in zombies history. Yes, Kino Der Toten is a basic map and can be boring.
Leave a like for 115, baby.
Flaws, but it did do so many things right, and it etched out an outline for what future zombies maps would look like. It is simply an iconic map. And again, I don't want to blend the terms iconic and nostalgic together because they are different things. But this map is so nostalgic as well. I have so many memories of my friends and I playing on this map, leaving my friends behind in the teleporter, then leaving me behind in the teleporter.
Hey, don't be that guy who leaves your friends behind in the teleporter. Don't be that guy.
I'm not afraid to admit this, but when I was a young lad playing this map, especially at nighttime, I was scared shitless. In fact, it took a lot of courage to play this map by myself.
Yeah,
I do understand though that that's
any zombies
subjective,
map
not
by
everyone
yourself.
feels that way, so I wouldn't
But this
title
one,
video
I
the most
mean,
nostalgic, but again, it is the most
fair
iconic
enough
map in zombies history. It encapsulates classic zombies, Nazi zombies, whatever you want to call it. It has that feeling. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my analysis of the Theater of the Dead. Let me know yours
There's
down below in the
Kino,
comment section.
guys.
What do you think about this map? Is it the most iconic map? I would love to hear your arguments. There are certainly some cases for other maps.
Yeah,
if you're
guys.
a bro, hit that like button down below, subscribe.
Hit the like button. Go check out Tim's channel. Guys, that's Kino Der Toten. Classic map, guys. Classic map. I'd put it up there as my #1 pick for most iconic zombies map. I don't know about, like, the best. We're going to have to figure that out as we sort through the rest of these episodes, guys. Make sure you subscribe to stay tuned with those new episodes coming out. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.